much. David, you know, as well as I know, that Galamsey is really, really destroying a whole lot of things in this country. So, as conference, we also thought it wise to add our voice to the authorities to do something about it in a very urgent manner. I don't want to put those schools here, but the fact is that we have students who are involved in Galamsey. The various schools in the Galamsey areas, you know the areas I'm talking about. So you can go to the Manso area and all those places where Galamsey is really, really going on. School reopens and students from the headmasters, headmistresses, school reopens and students really, really don't come to school early. Some of them will come to school after a month. Some of them will come to after 2 months. And the kind of indiscipline they also exhibit in schools is very alarming. In some areas, Galamsey is also encroaching on school lands here and there. So we deemed it as a concern, and we needed to talk about it so that authorities would do something about it for us, so that the future of these youth will be secured.
Reverend Father Stephen Owusu Sekyere, you mentioned that these students absent themselves from school months after school has reopened, and even when they come to school, they have discipline challenges. They are very indisciplined. What exactly do they do that makes it an indiscipline act in schools?
From what I hear from the heads of these schools, in fact, they are not only those schools in Galamsey area. Some of them also travel far away to various schools in the country. Because of the Galamsey, some of them are involved anyway. So they take long in coming. And because of what they do and the lifestyle over there, they come to school, and some of them are doing drugs. And the drugs that they do really destroying their lives. So we see it as a very serious concern.
How close are these Galamsey activities to these schools, and how is it affecting or impacting on teaching and learning?
Because, if you put students in school, and then because some of them are involved in Galamsey, they are not really come to school. It makes teacher learning a bit very difficult. The teacher will be there, students aren't coming. So teacher learning will never happen, and it will affect learning outcomes. So we have to really do something about it.
And based on what you just said, as we have to do something about it, what are your expectations of government in this situation? Now, we've had people, for example, call for a state of emergency. Is that something that CHASS is supporting?
If the government sees that to be very, very something that is very important to do, why not? They should go ahead and do it, because we have to secure the future of this country. We cannot allow Galamsey to destroy us.
Another issue that came up on the table for CHASS to look at has to do with procurement, and CHASS has raised concerns about the fact that you're not having the resources to be able to buy cereals to feed students. Again, we have heard that there are concerns of furniture, there are concerns for chairs, even or benches for the dining area and all that. How bad is the situation?
Yeah, let me correct this one. We didn't say that we didn't have what it takes to buy cereals. All that we're saying was that the government allowed the schools to purchase the food items by ourselves from January to July. And we are saying that was a perfect thing to do. But later on, we were told that government was going to supply. And then we engaged government, the ministry, and then we agreed that the heads should procure the 6 grains among the 18 items. The government should also supply the other 12. And then later on, there was kind of misunderstanding. But now, as I speak, we have agreed that at the last conference, just ended conference, the minister made it clear to us that we are going to procure the 6 items, that is maize, beans, soya beans, gari, then the other granules, and millet. We are going to buy these things because we believe that this also creates jobs for the local people because we can easily get these items from the localities. So, and the rest will be supplied. That has been the agreement for now. So, but people, it wasn't. And we also called for money because we had already bought food items, and that of June and July was not also paid. So we are calling on government to give us some money. As I speak, the food items we procured, June has been paid. So what is left is July, and we have been promised that the money will be paid. Apart from that, once the food items are being separated and government procuring some for us, and we also procure some, it means that the only money that will come to us for food will be for perishables. So for the perishables, it's also in arrears. So we called on government to release money for the perishables. So that is where we are now. But we have been told that the money that just came, that was for June, and the recurrent money for the second semester for this academic year. So we are waiting for the rest of the money to come to us so that we could pay our creditors.
How many months arrears are we looking at right now in terms of how much money owes that amount government owes you?
As a matter of fact, we prepared when this government came into power, we had some debts accrued, and we prepared that and gave it to the Minister and the Director General. That one involved 2024, I think the second semester perishables, and then from 2021 to 2024, so many items on the itemized bill for recurrent were also in arrears. We gave that one. So that one is arrears from 2021 to 2024. And then for this year, the government should give us the money for the food purchase in July, and also from July to date, the perishable money. So these are the monies that should come to us.
Did I hear you say that you have arrears even dating back to 2021 or 2021, between 2021 and 2024?
But we have been talking about last year. We spoke about this, remember?
When
I give you the communique and we discussed, it was part of it, and I told you that apart from examination and science and math, and also some money for practical examination for WASI, all the rest of the recurrent money that should come to the schools were in arrears. Everything was in arrears. And we have been speaking about it, and anytime we spoke, I mentioned it. So I don't know. You have to keep track of whatever that we discussed, David.
Yes, I have that in mind, but I'm surprised that having raised it, to my mind, I was thinking that maybe along the line, monies were disbursed or released.
It wasn't paid, my brother.
So how are you managing or coping under the circumstances?
Now we have creditors who are also, we have established some kind of rapport with some suppliers.
This year ran away.
The love for country and the youth, they are ready to give it to us. Whenever money comes, we pay them. These are renowned businessmen, and they love schools, love the country, and they are always ready. So we always owing people. That is what happened. So we printed examinations, semester examinations on credit and all that. So these are all part of the recurrent money that should come to the schools. But the government has promised to pay. So we are waiting for the money to be paid.
Have you been given any deadlines as to when those monies will be paid?
Actually, no, but we will still push for the money to be paid to the schools.
With that said, let's talk about the procurement in terms of the cereals.